Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to go over my 2024 Hall of Fame ballot. If you're new to the channel, join the Discord. We have a ADE, whatever the fuck I ended up calling my Discord, Hall of Fame, which I've been doing well before the Hall of Legends was even announced. So I will say mine was before Riots. But either way, this is the 2024 class. We've done one season for every... one class for every season, picking 6 players. So currently there are, I believe, 13 times 6. So I don't know, do the math on that. 13 times 6, maybe 78 players. And then we take a couple out because BRTT and Optimus end up playing this year. So I think there are 76 players currently in the Hall of Fame. This year, these are the 60 that are on the ballot. So if you join the Discord, you can participate in that in the Hall of Fame channel. You pick 15, and then there's a players discussion area if you'd like to discuss players that maybe are underappreciated. There are many minor region players on here. You see them in orange. A lot of people only focus on the 4 major regions. A lot of the viewership coming from those areas. So they really don't understand maybe a great player in the PCS or the VCS, Brazil, etc. So if you are a fan of those regions, you should comment in those player discussions so people are more aware of how good players may have been in these minor regions and maybe didn't get an opportunity to be seen by the average LOL Esports fan. After 2 weeks, the top 15 vote getters then get put into a poll, and the top 6 from those 15 end up in the next class. If you see at the end of these videos, I do have a playlist where I've tried to do trying to do videos on these players as time goes along. I haven't done them probably in a year to continue. I think I got through the first 3 classes of players or so. So just like filler content in a way. Plus, in addition to that, I think players do need to be remembered for how good they were, and coaches as well. So on here we have the 60 top people in terms of Hall of Fame points. I have a big document that I update at the end of every year, and I just finished updating it for 2024. For perspective, I think Faker has probably 850 or so Hall of Fame points now. Where that most people in this group are between 300 and I think 70 or 60 or so. So there is a situation where, you have a lot of good players. You got to keep in mind a couple things here. This esport is starting to get old enough where we are getting good players that are retired, that are done. That, I've played a long time and my career's over. But a lot of players that careers are over now are also guys that, no longer have it, and there are still very good players still playing. Faker and Rookie, etc. that have impact, Core JJ. These guys are world champions. They've played a long time. That they're still going. So a player has to be a player had to have been outside of a organized. If I look at Leaguepedia and I see that a player has not played in an organized regional circuit or ERL or whatever, they end up after 2 years being on here. If they did play, say in the Greek league, then they're still playing. They're still active, so they're not going to appear on the board. As an example, I think there was a player in Latin America that was playing in a Chilean league trying to get a second-tier team to the first-tier team. That player's still active. They're not on this list. This is a long spiel, but those that are interested and sit through this are the type of people that I probably want voting on this anyways, relative to those that skip around and don't really give it the respect that it probably deserves. And especially, I put a ton of fucking effort into this every year. It takes probably a week of just grinding data to try and get this done. So, in terms of top lane, the players on the board, Soaz. We've seen Soaz a long time player. Huni, Nuguri, Thaldrin from Turkey, Smurf of Russia, or the CIS region. A lot of CIS players coming into the ballot this year because 2022 is the end of the CIS region as we know it, right? With the war in the Eastern Europe and Ukraine and Russia, etc. And then I mean, COVID, that kind of put that region to bed. Now, I guess it is part of Europe's EMEA or whatever, but still, a lot of players never ended up continuing their career. So, Smurf, Tally of Oceania, NL from the PCS, Archie, of Vietnam, Giral of Latin America, Yang, I believe, is from Japan. Could be wrong. Rocky, Southeast Asia, Going of China, Shy and Expect from Korea, Wicked of Europe. We also have a few junglers on here. Spirit, who played in the LCK, the odd one of the few NA players on the list. Lloyd, otherwise known as Boss Blurry, played in Southeast Asia. Tussle played in Japan. Crystal played in Turkey. Watch. And then Spooks, who played in Oceania. Mid lane, Duanby, Shie. I acknowledge that Duanby is rumored to want to come back and play this year. If he does play, he will be, removed from the Hall of Fame, which is no big deal to him. And that is what it is. If during the next 2 weeks he does, for some reason, end up finally signing after free agency is officially underway after the 17th, I will adjust and probably say, anybody that did vote Duanby, just a reminder that Duanby is no longer eligible and that to vote for somebody else vote for somebody else, and I'm going to add another name, whoever was 61st, on my sheet. So that's a thing. Shie, Kira, who played in the LCL CIS region, Plugo, Latin America, Reggie of TSM, Triple in Oceania, Swiffer in Oceania, Kami of Brazil, Chali, who played in the PCS, and Null, who played in Vietnam. Bot laners, not many, only a handful. Ghost, who played with Damwon Kia. Unified of the PCS, Annex of the PCS. Kramer, LCK, Radier, Oceania, Celebrity, Vietnam, and then a ton of support. So hopefully we get a couple of these supports in the Hall of Fame this year, just so we can kind of not have 20 on the ballot. Support, obviously, an underrated role, and maybe throughout history it has been a role that wasn't all that important. But there are players on here that became coaches afterwards, which makes me wonder, maybe these people were more to their teams than the average fan would give them credence or whatever, respect for, because hell, if a player can go right from playing to coaching, you do have to think that they probably were a shot caller for their teams. We have Edward from the CIS region. I think he played in Brazil as well. I think he's a coach now. Afromu, Santos, also from the CIS region. Zero, Koala of the PCS. Mistake as well from the PCS. Daoud, who played in Europe and Brazil. Lustboy, Arcee, I think played in Latin America. Snowflower, Dara, played in Japan. Ben, Elements, Melisan, I believe is a world champion. Could be wrong, but I believe is a world champion from the original Fnatic roster. Nif, FZZF, played in China. Japone, played in Turkey. And then a few coaches. We have Grabs, who was the coach of G2 when they won MSI and hasn't had a spot the last 2 years, at least based on Leaguepedia. Keep in mind, this is 100% based off Leaguepedia. So, if for some reason there's something wrong, go and update a player's page, if you're a reputable source. And, keeping that database updated and things is good for everybody. Nofi, a coach that kicked around, Rocks Tigers coach, to put that in perspective. Moment was a coach on the 2022 T1 roster. He also was a coach for T1 a couple years before that as well. Part of that Bangy coaching staff and even Zepha's. And Chazhao. We're going to go Chazhao, which is probably not how it's pronounced. Otherwise known as Fluid Wind. Coach on those Flash Wolf rosters from the PCS, as well as a coach for, I believe, JDG. 3 teams. JDG and BLG are definitely two of them, though, that he was a coach of. Coach of BLG, part of that staff in 2022 before Tabe got involved. So keep that in mind, think about that. So if you want to participate, join the Discord comment section. If you put down your vote, I'm not really going to care because I'm only counting things on the Discord. If you comment down below about these guys, it's not going to really make a difference to me because, like I said, the Discord. So that is a thing. Like I said, though, keep in mind there are like 75 players already entered in to the Hall of Fame. So if you say these players aren't the best players ever, I mean, one, they are some of the best players ever that are retired. And two, there are also 70 players already in. So keep that in mind. Not, these players, there's been thousands and thousands of players. I think it's just always really cringe when someone says a player was bad or this, that, or the third, when really there's like top 0.001% in something, and the person probably saying it hasn't even been the top, like, I don't know, 10% in anything in the world except being a dipshit. So, that's kind of par for the course with people in sports, but, that's why we call them what they are, dipshits. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.